Hello chess lovers, Soren here, and I have another mind-blowing game for you played by Judit Polgar. Her opponent is Jonathan Tisdall, and this game was played at 1988 Reykjavik Open. At the time of this game, Judit Polgar was just 11 years old and her opponent was a well-known Norwegian international master, now a grandmaster, Jonathan Tisdall. Tisdall had white pieces and he started with knight f3, c5 by Polgar, and after e4 the game is transformed into a Sicilian defense. e6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3 and d6. Judit Polgar goes for Scheveningen variation. g4, white chooses a very sharp Keres attack. h6, g5, we see the exchange of pawns on g5 square, knight c6, h4, a6, queen d2, white is preparing castling queenside, queen b6. Now the knight is under attack, knight b3, bishop d7, and we see castling queenside by both sides. f4, king b8, a prophylactic move. Black is both bringing the king on a safer square and at the same time is freeing this c8 square for the rook. Bishop e2, rook c8, king b1, knight h5, f5 and knight g3. Of course, capturing on f5 square is not a good idea because in this case the d5 square is not controlled and this can be very unpleasant for black. White can first capture on h5 and then play knight d5. If queen a7, bishop e3, this is simply crushing. Look at this poor queen. Let's go back. That's why after f5 knight g3 was played, the knight on the rim is dimmed. That's why Judit Polgar plays knight g3 with the intention of exchanging the knight with a light squared bishop. F takes e6, bishop takes e6, rook g1, and we see the exchange on e2 square. Knight e5. Now if we have a look at the position, the pawn on d6 square looks somewhat ugly and at the same time this bishop is still undeveloped. Black should still solve some technical problems, but on the other hand both players have equal chances. Knight d5 was played, which actually favors black. Bishop takes d5 and black is getting rid of this weakness on d6 square. It takes d5. Of course the bishop can't be captured with the rook because the rook on g1 is hanging. That's why after bishop takes d5 we see it takes d5, queen c7, both putting pressure on this c2 square and at the same time preparing the development of the bishop. Rook d4, bishop e7, rook b4. White is trying to organize an attack on the king side, but it turns out that after this rook b4 black is starting to gain a slight advantage. It was better to exchange the bishops on e7 square and then either play h5 or even capture on g7, but instead after bishop e7 we see rook b4. Bishop takes g5, h takes g5 and king a8. White was threatening queen takes a6, though of course in that case black could capture on c2, but we first see this prophylactic king a8 move. a4, rook h3. Now black rooks will start making problems for white pieces. Now comes the second rook, rook h8, a5, rook h2, rook g2, rook h1 check, king a2, queen d7. Gradually black's position is getting more and more better. Knight d2, rook h4 and knight f3, which is a terrible mistake. It was better to exchange the rooks and then play queen f2, though black stands slightly better, but this continuation could have been better for white. Instead after rook h4 we see knight f3. We see the exchange of knights on f3 square, and now you can pause the video and try to find Judit Polgar's next moves. Actually she made two moves and white resigned. Can you find her next moves? Ready? In this position, Judit Polgar first played rook h3, a very important move. This rook should control the third rank. And after kicking away the queen, queen e2, the queen should stick to this rook and protect it. Judit Polgar went for a mind-blowing queen sacrifice. She played queen a4 check. Did you find this move? After which Jonathan Tisdall resigned. The thing is that now if king b1 then simply rook h1 check and it's over. But what if after queen a4 check, white accepts the sacrifice and captures on a4? Then after rook takes a4 check, king b1, the rook is coming now to take black king from the first rank, and it turns out that black king is getting checkmated. After grabbing both pieces, this is over. We see a checkmate on the board. A very impressive final queen sacrifice, I think. Let's have a look at that queen a4 move once again. This is simply a chess bomb. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave your comments, and for more games, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Good luck.